All right. Today we're going to be working on AI. That's our conversation today. It's all about AI. So, AI, what is AI? What's the purpose of this? Today's call, we're going to be focusing on 4 different sessions, right? We're going to be talking about builder to boss, and that's the rise of AI and how it's harnessed, setting up your AI tech stack, which is going to be extremely important. Basically, a guide to best practices. We will be focusing also on the marketing and sales aspect, what strategies for success. And in the last part, we're going to finish off with data to dollars, which is basically leveraging AI in the business for analytics, right? That's going to be our focus today. So just give me a thumbs up, Katie, if you can see the screen properly. It shows properly. Okay, excellent. So AI, just like anything new that comes to fruition, when the internet was first came out, all these different websites, and we're like, hey, all these different websites, where am I going? Right. And then we had, the iPhone come in, and then you had the App Store, and I was like, oh my goodness, all these different apps. So you're going to be bombarded with AI. The problem is not all AI is going to be useful for you. So we need to look at what is useful for you as a realtor. Which AI program should you be looking into? So when we look at the beginning, beginning to boss, what is AI and what isn't AI? Well, AI is a simulation of a human intelligence processes by machines. It's taking data that it's already knows to be true, and it's processing it. You're going to see how it has machine learning, where it can take your data, it can take data points and start to understand it for analytics. The biggest win so far of AI has been the natural language processing. It understands the ums and ahs of us talking. The problem with past AI, it was very generic, very robotic, but it's coming to the point now where it's understanding the way we speak, right? Computer vision and audio processing, which is really impressive. So let's jump right into it. Generative AI is a subset of artificial intelligence, which designs and creates new content or data by learning patterns from existing data and produces outputs that weren't there originally. We look at what does generative AI do, because we're going to be talking about generative AI specifically. It can create for you, it can alternate for you, and it could blend. Now, these are the 4 outputs that we as realtors will be able to use them as, right? Texting, images, videos, and audio. Those would be the 4 major outputs as realtors, right? And the idea really for using AI, it's not to replace anyone. It's basically to do it better, to do it faster, and to do more of it, right? So large language models. What this is systems that can understand and generate text, simulate human-like conversations. ChatGPT, Bard, and Claudio are the 3 major models out there right now. Everything else that's out there is a sublet of either one of these, right? So let's take a look at it. An algorithm or program that relies on training data and recognize patterns to make predictions or decisions, right? So when we look at this, right, if I was to simply ask ChatGPT, if I was a child, please explain what you are. Really what it is, it's a program that can talk to you by writing. It's extremely intelligent, and it can answer your questions, help you with anything from work, stories, making jokes. Like, it's going to interact based upon what it knows. So from a realtor's perspective, these are the modalities that we can use ChatGPT. Conversation, translation, question and answer, right? Learning, obviously you can learn from it. Researching for you, ideas, can generate thought, it can generate, it can edit, it can enhance, it can analyze, problem solve, and real important, it can counsel, which is interesting. So What are the difference in ChatGPT? You have your free version, 3.5, and then you have your 4.0. Now, the difference is with 4.0, it's the paid version, and it allows you, I'm over here. It allows you to browse. It allows you to analyze. It allows you to dive deep into DALL-E. And DALL-E allows you to create imagery through text. And the most important, one of the biggest differences between ChatGPT 3.5 and 4 is that it gives you plugins in which the programs that you're using now already can be plugged into ChatGPT, which becomes an extremely powerful tool now. ChatGPT can be attached to your CRM. It can be attached to your follow-up program. Whatever you want to use can now be used with ChatGPT. It can interact with the consumer. And as we get deep into this, the new AI systems can actually talk to the consumer, which is pretty crazy, right? What else do we have here? So it's prompting, writing, designing, analyzing, research, coding, and editing. So when you could prompt it to do any one of those. So here are the prompts. You could do it for your job postings, any sort of offer letter, applications, biography. Your bios absolutely be important, listing descriptions. These are all the outputs that as a realtor, I would take a snapshot of this, right? And really think about your real estate business. How can you improve your business? I really like the PDF guides, right? Creating guides that you can use for landing pages. It creates content for landing pages. It can create chat threads, right? These are, video scripts. It can improve your texting and emailing drips, training outlines. Basically, it can take care of many of your non-money making activities. So it comes down to it. Now, the key though, with ChatGPT will be in the prompts, right? It's in the details. So what's the prompt? So I want you to take a photo of this. This is real important. This is your persona. When you're prompting ChatGPT, it is key to give it the right prompt. There's 5 elements to a prompt. You have your persona, which is declaring who's speaking. You have your objective, which defines what you need. Then you have your context, which provides a detailed backstory of this. Then you have your format, right? How do you want this output to look like? And then you have your style. And this is perhaps the manner in which you speak, right? So act like a seasoned realtor, right? For a home seller, compose a list. Compose a guide to tips to improve curb appeal. And then the context is the guide is for homeowners planning to sell and increase value. What's the format? Maybe you want this as a PDF. And then what's the style? This is so that it stays concise in the way you speak, right? Real important, right? Now, it's interesting. If you typed in act as a realtor, as opposed to imagine you are a realtor, the answers get different. So I would suggest don't use imagine. We try to imagine and it really goes off in a whole nother world. So it's important that, if you don't like the answer it gave you, you would want to go back and take a look at what was the prompt. How can you change the prompt? And ask ChatGPT, all right, this is not the answer I was looking for. It's completely off. What is it in my prompt that made you think this? And it'll tell you. And then that way you can change your prompt. So even though I gave you a format for a prompt, it's not etched in stone. Now, the suggestion is real simple. Take your prompt and start in a text format, in a document such as Word or your notes. Don't type in the prompt into ChatGPT. Problem with that is at times you may be halfway through your prompt and then the system kind of messes up and you lost your prompt. Also, your prompt can be really thought out ahead of time, and you only need to change a few items. Like the persona may stay the same all the time. Your objective will change. The context may change. The format may change, but like the style may stay the same. It's your writing style. So certain aspects of the prompt may always stay the same. Even the context may stay the same. So you may only be changing 1 or 2 lines. And in this example, I'm saying act as a seasoned real estate agent, right? Specialize in the expertise in guiding home sellers and buyers through the sales process. My objective here is to create an article using, and as you can see in there, in quotations, I put in the October stats for my marketplace. So I just took the October stats for my marketplace, plugged it into it, and I'm asking it to write out a paragraph for each, 1 or 2 sentences, so that I can have an in-depth look of what happened in the marketplace, so that I can create an article like a blog, right? So this is an example of using the prompt. Okay. All right, let's get to the next part. AI tech stack. Generative writing, generative video, generative design, video magic, generative images, avatar cloning, imaging magic, and generative searches. We're going to go through all 8 of these, and this is what we need as realtors. When it comes to generative writing, it writes your original content for social media, for posts, for essays, anything echoing anything the style of the person, and that's pretty crazy. And these 3, ChatGPT and Jasper and Tom AI, are the best ones and the ones I'm going to feature here today. So for ChatGPT, it's going to help you write, and all 3 of them will help you write articles, scripts, summaries, lists, instructions, captions, blogs, titles, taglines, and SEO. The difference, however, between them may be with Jasper, for example, it uses ChatGPT. However, it is very specialized. It has some special, it's different than ChatGPT. Even though it's using ChatGPT on the background, it has more specific to marketing and sales. So if you're paying for Jasper, it is a true AI, very advanced. It is using ChatGPT, but taking it to another level, right? It also has some templates that you may use. Right. So if you're not using ChatGPT, this one is amazing, very specialized. It is a bit more expensive though in your real estate business. All of us, have ChatGPT 4, Tom AI. We all have Tom AI. So Tom AI uses ChatGPT. However, it's more advanced simply because all of Tom Ferry's proprietary information has been added to it. So now you're looking at being very specific and asking the questions, just like how you would ChatGPT, but this is now Tom with Tom's information. And everything that Tom puts out in the Illume is in this Tom AI. So if you're looking for how would I do a listing presentation, like what, the way Tom Ferry would do it, you would type that into Tom AI and it would explain it to you. If you did the same thing to ChatGPT, the answer is obviously going to be very different because it doesn't have any proprietary information in ChatGPT, right? These other programs also do generative writing. Anywhere from Copy AI to Writer to Grammarly, all of these are AI programs that use for writing, if you need it for writing. Generative design. Now this is we're getting fun now. Okay, this is getting fun, right? This acts like a digital artist for you, using data to craft everything and anything sleek, graphics, presentations, infographics. This is it. So Adobe Firefly, highly recommend them. Canva and Adobe Express, right? For example, with Adobe Firefly, you can take text to image and it creates you an image just based on text, right? It can do change the fills, text. This is coming too. 3D imagery and text to vector, which would be a big one, right? We also have in the plugins, Canva has a GPT plugin. So you can create just by writing in what you want, and it'll create it for you in Canva. All right. Canva, actually in Canva itself, it has the tools there. You can just type in what you want and it creates for you. Adobe Express has the same idea, right? You type in what you want and it will create that image for you, right? Graphic. So these are other programs, Luca, Frontier, all of these, Microsoft Designer, Designer.ai do the same thing, where you can type in type in a wording and then it would appear for you. The image would appear, right? We also have DALL-E and Midjourney. This photo looks extremely realistic. Looks like 3 different women are not. They have been generated just by words. These 3 women do not exist. The first one is an image that was created by Midjourney. The second one was created by Firefly. And the third one was created by DALL-E. Extremely realistic. You can also just type in what is it that you want. Describe a scenario. In this case, I asked it to create a sketch, an image of a person on one side of the cliff representing a homeowner, and then put out there, hey, what would it look like, right? And this is the image that came in ChatGPT. Here's some, again, the prompt changed up a little bit. Just typing it in and creates this incredible imagery. This one was done on Adobe Firefly, a little bit different. All right. The prompt here was visualize a serene, well-lit office space scene, centered woman in her 30s with shoulder-length hair. This was created in Adobe Firefly. Simply type it in the text. This one was done in ChatGPT. Okay. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this one probably blew my mind. This one was the wildest one of them all. This here is not a real person. This image, which, to be honest, looks like my uncle. This image, it was created by Adobe Firefly. All right, wow. That's how powerful AI is. It's unbelievable. Thumbnails, right? This image here, as you can see here, of the snow and the house. Ray created this this thumbnail through Midjourney. Basically said, this is what I want it to look like, added himself, and it became a thumbnail for his YouTube channel, right? Generative images, we got Midjourney. These are the 9 for images, right? Image magic. Now, this is where you want to manipulate your images, right? So what does that look like? It's enhancing, it's repairing, it's styling, it's colors, it's erasing, it's expanding if you needed to, animated. For example, let's say you have your team. Your team's pretty, it's got 4 members in the team, but here, Bob here decides to leave the team. And you don't want to change the pictures, right, Ken? You don't want to change those pictures. So what you end up doing is you can absolutely erase them with AI now. And this was done with Adobe Firefly. Now, the crazy thing is if you look at this photo, you sort of see an image of a chair in the background. But once they erase the person, the computer automatically created a new image. Created a new image of this chair. It just made it up, right? Now, you can obviously remove that if you don't like it, but this is the power of Firefly. It can also expand your photos. If you had a photo that's done in one aspect and you need to change to another aspect, what this program will do, it will help you expand the area, and just like it did here. This photo was an aspect of 1:1, and they wanted a widescreen, and it can change. So if you ever have any photos, even videos that you need to change, it can do this. Okay. Runway ML is very powerful. It can add color. It can add imprints of people in different locations. It can expand your image, slow motion. This is all part of Runway ML. Okay. Have you ever wanted to have some sort of B-roll created in your videos, and you're like, first of all, it's super expensive, and second, it's like, where do I find this? How do I find the correct B-roll? You can actually type in what you want. What does the B-roll look like? Just type it all in, and it will create it for you, the B-roll. In this case, I typed in camera pans to the right, revealing a breathtaking ocean view beyond a gorgeous green landscape. Now, it's not perfect, but this is what it came up with right here. So this is text to a video. Think about that for a second. Do you have some ideas how you should have a B-roll or something put in? You can now just write it in and it creates the text, the B-roll for you. Right? All right. This is gonna be fun. This is the scary stuff now, folks. This is it. Hey Gen, scary. Okay. AI that crafts video from text prompts, static pictures, existing videos into new videos. So you got three major companies here: HeyGen, Runway ML, and Synthesia. They all do it. So Synthesia can create an AI for you, a complete clone of yourself or of just generic one. And this is extremely powerful, extremely popular when it comes to creating sales training for your team. You just type in what you want it to say, and it would say it for you, just as a person, right? You can also type in not just people, but even text. A wolf, right? Here's an example of one where, you know, two wolves, and you can tell it's not 100% perfect because look at the eyes on this one. A little freaky, right? So my text said that it had some amber eyes. I didn't really want it to emphasize it, but it's getting better. AI is getting better. It can create text. It's not perfect. But let's get to the next one. This one's going to be interesting. This is where you have video magic now. Enhancing videos performance. Most agents use have their own, you know, I want to say marketing coordinator or videographer that may do the video for you, right? But that's getting more and more expensive. You're shooting content, you're shooting videos, and now I'm having someone else edit it for me. Well, AI, there's a lot of great AI programs like CapCut, Captions AI, Opus Clips, or the Scribe. All of these programs can replace that editor for you. Let me show you what I mean, right? CapCut removes backgrounds. It improves the video itself, resizes for you, stabilizes if the video was not very, you know, it was a little shaky, right? This one is with CapCut, Captions AI. I don't know if you're using a teleprompter or your phone and your eyes are constantly you're not looking at the person. You guys ever get that? Where you're like looking at it and your eyes are to the right, to the left? Well, Captions AI will correct that for you. You're just looking at the screen. You can absolutely read it, but it looks as if you're looking directly at them, right? To fix the problem with the eyes, right? The Scribe is outstanding at removing the ums, ahs, is, all that stuff that happens in a video. You're on the video and you're talking, it's a great video, but then when you play it back, you're like, man, I sound like an idiot. I mean, there's too many ums, there's too many ahs, there's too many this and that. It will remove that from the video. If you mention something incorrectly in the video, let's say you reported a stat and you absolutely blew it and you said the wrong stat, you can go back, change the stat, change the information, and it will, when you play it back, it's as if it was never a mistake. If you don't like the beginning part and really did like the ending part or a part of it in the middle, you could move. You can move the script and it's going to do that on the video, right? So really excellent program. Describe. Opus Clips is one of my favorites when it comes to taking long form video. And I think I've been having a lot of conversations with you guys about this one. So you got this long form video, polished video on YouTube. And now what we want to do is create these little snippets out of the video. Well, Opus Clips does that for you. It'll take the long form and create a whole bunch of the short form. Now, the cool thing with it is it's going to create the captions and it's going to put in there some GIFs, some emojis, even some pictures if you like. So, and it's editable. So you can take the smaller version and make verticals out of them. Love that, right? Audible cleans up your audio. Basically, if there's too much background noise, it can clean their background. Yeah, so that was all about that. Let's jump into cloning. Who here would love to clone themselves because they're afraid of video? Anybody? Anybody not excited about doing video? And would someone love to have someone else do the video for them with their face and their voice and their picture? Would that be of interest to you? Welcome to Hey Jen. Okay, so first I'm going to go over with Be Human. Be Human is the easy one. So Be Human allows you to record a message and then change the name on that message. So if I'm recording a season's greeting to all 400 of my past clients, I can record the message, and then what Be Human will do is change the person's name. It'll go from Jennifer, it'll go to Ken, it'll hit to Katie, and then it'll go to Angie, then it'll go to Nicole. It's gonna say everyone's name. I just have to record it one time. And all 400 get done, and I could send it to my clients. Now, would that be pretty cool? Hey, what about lead follow-up? I got a whole bunch of leads, and I can record a message that I know is a pretty powerful message that will help people kind of jump to the next stage, and just have that saved and use it every time I have a new lead, right? Or I want to use this message because it's the next step in the buying process. I have this client, they just purchased a house, and I want to send out a message to them, right? Really powerful. 11 Labs takes your voice and literally puts it on any song you want. Hey Jen, wow. Okay, so this one's the real one. This one's killer. This one's all about cloning you, right? You don't like your videos? Well, Hey Jen can do it for you. This is our coach, Emily, and I want you to watch this for a second. This is her clone talking. This is not her. This is just the text that she wrote.
Are you overwhelmed with your 2024 marketing plan? What if you focused on micro marketing plans instead? A micro marketing plan is creating a marketing that is based on one specific lead source only. For example, let's talk about pop buys for your SOI. It is much easier to create a marketing plan just for pop buys and then add that individual marketing plan to a master plan. This way you are not having to plan all marketing for the entire year at one time. If you want an example, send me a DM. Are you overwhelmed with,
Now, is that crazy or what? Wow. So she recorded herself, types in what she wants. Now, the script itself was created by ChatGPT. She just simply uploaded to Hey Jen. Hey Jen recorded, did the videos, put in the GIFs, put in all those little emojis that pop up, and it's all created for you, right? All right, the AI is getting fun now, right? Let's do it. All right, AI to enhance online searches, results, and provide more relevant information. Now we got Perplexity, we have UChat, we have Google, SGE, and Bing Chat. So this is all to help you with searches. Bing Chat is available now. it's you know, you can go in there and it could really help you with whatever research that you're looking for, right? That's what now let's take a quick look. I've gone through a number of them. I went pretty quickly with these AI tools. Here's the screen. These are all the ones I went over right now. Take a screenshot of them. But when you really look at it, there's only 15 of them. There are no other ones that you really need right now. Does this make sense? But I could tell you, there are literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these. So don't get overwhelmed. These 15 pretty much do everything that you want to be done. Okay, so let's just jump into it. How so, right? Strategies. Let's talk strategies now, right? Because you come here for the strategy. So the idea is not to eliminate the person who's in charge of your, it's not to eliminate your marketing coordinator per se. It's to enhance. It's not to eliminate you. The AI will not replace you without question because it takes you, it needs you. So this is the system. It's input, process, output. It needs you to start. What are your unique ideas, your questions, your inspiration? It starts with you or your marketing editor. Then it takes over. It looks at it and it helps you, it analyzes it, learns from you and puts together a response. And basically what you're collaborating with the output is it's you and the AI together putting this amazing piece of content out. Does that make sense? Can you see how it's not going to replace you? You guys good? Don't be afraid that AI is going to replace a realtor. It will never replace you. I know, Ken, that was top of mind for you. I know. Right? So remember, it's more, faster, better, right? More, faster, better. So marketing tasks, it can enhance your web SEO. Who here would like to improve their SEO on their web channel, right? Each page. So here, content ideas, content generation, keywords, frequently asked questions. That's an amazing one. If you guys don't have a frequently asked question page on your website, you really should have one. It creates landing pages for you, external links, internal links, right? Image optimization. Like you can basically ask it, okay, take a look at my website and tell me how can I improve it? And it will do it for you. Translating. Come on. Are you kidding me? Translating, having the demographics in your marketplace, speak to them, right? Titles, headings, meta, and other suggestions, right? Think of this. Prompt a buyer homepage. Write a detailed SEO optimized page for realtor's website focusing on home buying services. Include the following elements: title, intro, service overview, step-by-step guide, testimonials, CTA. Take that and put it into ChatGPT 4, and guess what it's going to create for you? A buyer landing page that is absolutely optimized for the web right now. And you could do the same for sellers, right? Have a seller's homepage. I think with all of you have kind of gone through this discussion, like you should have a resource page for buyers, a resource page for sellers on your website. Here you go. Ask ChatGPT to write it for you, right? Amplify your content. You already are creating content. You're giving it some ideas, and now we can amplify it. Take a look at articles, scripts, summaries, lists, everything, blogs, taglines. The average person on social media has 7 different platforms. You guys know that? Jennifer's like, yeah, I'm on like 15. Okay, cool. Right? 7 different platforms. So here are your platforms. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, we know that. TikTok, LinkedIn, Pinterest. Who uses Pinterest? Anyone use Pinterest? Right? Google My Business. Now, here's the emails, right? We want to do like an email newsletter, a blog. Okay, so I'm going to give you all the slides just in case you guys are worried. Angie, I got you covered, right? Also, I'm going to give you this template. This template came from Jason Pantana. This is all Jason stuff. So this template is for you to take. It's a 3-pager, by the way, where whenever you produce a piece of content, it will help you in keeping organized. Hey, where am I repurposing all this information? Right? And what I'm asking you to do is take your idea, whatever the idea is, figure out where your placement's going to be. Is going to be on Instagram post, Reel Story. Like, figure out where you're going to be posting it. Then the title, maybe the blog or the YouTube channel, whatever it is. And then what you can do is you can change the captions on it. Give it a different title name, even though it's the same idea for each social media platform. And the key here is just to ask ChatGPT. If I put in the title of my blog into ChatGPT, it will then create the titles for all the different platforms, right? So I'm going to give you a copy of this. Design thumbnails. Who here has trouble designing thumbnails? Anybody? Here's simplified. Here's how you do it. You go into Adobe Firefly and off the cuff, write in whatever you want. In this case, we wrote down lots of bars of gold on fire. That's what we wrote. Then we picked one of them. Then we took Jason's picture and threw it in there, took a picture of you, throw it in there, and then we gave it a title. Thumbnail done! Because that's all you need, right? Background, picture of you, title. Can we all do this one? Without question. So if you're worried about thumbnails, it's not hard. You go into Adobe Firefly, type in what you want, put a picture of yourself, and put a title. There she is, right? If you happen to use Filmora, it'll do it for you. It'll take a picture of a scene, of one of your scenes in your video, and it'll create the thumbnail just like that. All right, streamlining editing. These 5 are perfect for editing. Really like CapCut, and you know I like Opus Clips. So this is what it can do for you. It can obviously fix your eye contact, repair any flaws in audio, remove backgrounds, remove objects, take your best takes, change them around, transcribe things for you, vertical, that's Opus, and then fix the color, which is pretty powerful. Veed is also another AI system that does all that. Actually, it's all in one for the most part. Refining your scripts and dialogues. That would be language refining, tone adjustments, because you can change your tone. We all know tone's important. Conversation sublets, brainstorming, visuals. We all do that. We all brainstorm. It's interesting. You can go into Canva, go into their AI, and just have a conversation with it. Like, I'm thinking of doing this. And it goes back and forth, asking questions till you come up with what it is that you want. All of this can be done. Okay. Generic designs, so layouts, logos, presentations, icons, infographics. That can be all designed. Fine tune. Oh, how are your bios? How's your bio? Here, I want you to look at this. When it comes to Instagram, there's 4 lines in the bio. Did you know that the first line is all about the audience? Who are you posting the content for? What is this content for? And then the second line is, how are you the authority? Why should they trust you and believe you? The third line on your bio is this is your unique traits, your beliefs, making you relatable. And then the last one is an action item. What's the next steps? Right? So here's an example, right? You got marketing tactics for real estate professionals, entrepreneurs, and marketers, right? I'm a speaker, consultant, coach for Tom Ferry. I put in courses, content, and connect. And then your call to action is click on my links. That's an example. Now, did you know that every single platform has different bio counts, right? I mean, you could put 2,600 when it comes to LinkedIn. You can take your bio, throw it into ChatGPT, and it will create new bios and intros for every single one of your platforms. And then the last one, which I really enjoy, and that is compiling PDFs. We talked a lot about creating landing pages for your niche, landing pages for your ideal clients, right? You know, someone in their 70s living in a 2-story home that needs to downsize, right? What is that compelling, you know, niche? What's that report that they were going to download? Have them create it for yourself. All right, more fast, better. Last one, and this one is basically looking at analyzing and business strategies. So math, yeah, it can work with math. So data analyzing in ChatGPT 4. You can take your MLS information. It can also analyze reviews, documents, and you can import and export all of this within it. Okay, your documents, sheets, images, videos can be all imported and exported. Did you know that you can go into your social media platforms like Meta, YouTube, your MailChimp, your website, even your Google My Business page, TikTok, and there's a back page for all the analytics on your site? Did you know this? Did you know that you can take that information and cross-reference with each other? Take the data from any one of them, put it into, and you can write something like this. Identify the common audience, the demographics between Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, right? Their ages, their locations, demographics, subsets, all that. Analyze the correlations between the email open rate and the website traffic spike. Can we see a direct impact of the email campaign and people visiting our sites? Can you guys see the importance of this? Compare and analyze the performance of my videos, right? Cross-reference from Google searches. There, you want to get even crazier? You can put your reviews in there. Take your reviews, basically take your whole review, the whole thing, upload it, see, copy, paste, and then do this. Analyze the seller client reviews for you, provide deep insight, examine the reviews, the seller clients to provide ideal clientele, ignoring other feedback, right? Identify key values of what resonates with the seller's client, divulge into segments and subtext, cross-reference. Here's a killer. You guys know what the Bain 30 element of value is? Does anyone know what that is? Every corporation, major corporation, right, sells either a service or product. The consumer gives it a rating of value. There are 30 different aspects to it that as a consumer, we would say that this is more valuable than the other. You guys can look it up. It's a very, it's called Bain's 30 elements of value, right? And what it does is it plays on people's emotions. So you can cross-reference what you're doing right now based upon your reviews and see which elements of value are you presenting, is being presented, that you, because of your reviews, are showing. And then, so here it is. This is the emotional impact, life-changing. This is it, the 30, right? Elements of value. And then you can ask it to assess it. And then create target list offers based upon your assessment. Is that killer? I love it. I know I'm geeking out on you guys. I know I'm almost losing you guys. Don't worry about it. Okay, next one, appointments. It can analyze appointments for you. All right, analyze appointments. So what does that mean? Well, I'm a firm believer in improving your skill set. So having something like Otter or Parrot, what they do is they record your presentation, and then you can then go back and analyze it. It'll take your transcription and you can upload it and ask it questions, right? So this is to help you improve, right? And you can then audit. You can take the entire conversation, because what Parrot does and what Auditor does is it takes what you said and transcribes it into words. You can then take your listing presentation, throw it to ChatGPT, and then ask it some questions, get some feedback. Does that make sense? See, if you want me to listen to your audio, I can, but ChatGPT can do it faster and better. All right? MLS data, it could take your MLS data, of course, and do an analysis of it. I did analysis for someone in Maine. I looked up who is the #1 agent in Maine and why, and what are they doing, so I could become #1 agent in Maine, right? So you can analyze that. So market studies does pricing trends. It does absorption rate comparisons, competition analysis, and buyer persona. Who's buying in your marketplace, right? That would be key. If I know who's buying in my marketplace, now I can create content making it relatable to them. Here is, if you want to take a picture of that, a persona that you can create for a buyer. And that's it, folks. More, better, faster. Questions, concerns, hallucinations. I know there's a lot. I know. I'm sorry. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. My bad. Here's the thing. I'm the type that I like to give you a lot of information, but I can always step back and say, okay, what didn't you not get? Or what did you really get and you want to do a deep dive on? Does that make sense? Like, I just want to give this all to you, but what I can tell you is Jason Pantana is coming out with the AI program. It is 4 weeks in length, 2 days a week. I believe it starts in January the 23rd. Yep, starts January the 23rd. Everything I did was from him. And I just condensed it. I just took the most basic of it, right? He goes into in depth. Basically, the way it works is you have a lecture, a 1-hour lecture with him on a Tuesday, followed by a lab that you would do on a Thursday. So he will give you some context, he'll do some homework, and then you work on it. And then the following week, Tuesday, another lecture, and it goes for 4 weeks. Okay, folks, if you're interested in that, absolutely look into go to the Illume. It should be there for you to sign up. If not, send it to case@tomfair.com and say you're interested in it. But it will be marketed at the very beginning of January. You're going to see that come out. Okay, I don't know if you haven't. I would highly recommend if you want to get more into AI. This will be an ongoing program. He's going to do probably 5 or 6 times throughout the year because the AI stuff is changing. Right? But at the end of the day, the whole idea of this call is to give you a little bit of insight of what's available to you. There are 15 different apps that I would look into, or only those 15. You don't have to look at them all, just whatever interests you, whatever works for you. Because right now, there are literally hundreds of them out there. And every time you scroll on social media, there's a new one, right? And there's a new one, right? So don't go down those rabbit holes. These are the ones that we've done the research on that made sense. And some of them's pretty killer, pretty cool, right? And some of them pretty scary. I'm not gonna lie, right? I didn't even get into the wearables. Like, he got into wearables. I'm like, no, we're not gonna go down that route. So, questions, concerns, hallucinations, what do you guys got?
A lot there, man. Holy shit. You're gonna send us all that, Danny, so we can.
So you're gonna get slides. You're gonna get this video. I hope I did a good job. And you're gonna get a couple of templates. I think I have the ChatGPT prompt. You're gonna get that. You're gonna get a couple templates from Jason, which is to help you when you do content creation, right? Just to kind of help you organize a little bit, right? Yeah, that's what you're gonna get. And I want to wish like everyone here a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. There is no calls next week at all, but I'll be right back at it January 2nd, baby. We're back at it. Does anyone have anything else? Questions, concerns? Go
I have
ahead.
a question. So
Yeah.
where are we going to see this? Is it in Illume or is it coming into our inboxes, or where are we going to
email to you
email? Okay.
today?
Cool.
Okay, great.
We'll get an email today with it. I may have to upload the video into my YouTube channel first, which would be a private video, and then you're gonna have a link to it. So that's more likely what's gonna happen. So it'll be some point today, right? More likely this evening. Cool. What else you guys got?
Well,
Danny, if you have any good prompts or anything that you're coming across that's a new prompt or something that someone pulled, please send it to us, man. The prompts and the wording, you do so well.
So the prompts are, like I said, there's 5 pieces to a prompt, right? You have your persona, your context, your objective, how you want to write it, and how you want the style of it to be written out. So that's the prompt. What you're going to fall in love with is the fact that you don't need to change it so much, right? Like the style of writing, Tyler, will be your style of writing. And you can
Okay.
absolutely take a piece of writing that you've done in the past, upload it to ChatGPT and ask it, hey, how would you describe this style of writing? And then it's going to tell you, and then you copy that and you put it into your document and you always keep it there. That's how I want the style to be. Right?
Okay.
Your persona is never going to change. It's you. You're a real estate agent helping buyers and sellers in your marketplace. Blah, 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 blah. You keep that. That stays the same, right? You know, it's just what's the objective is going to change the most. Angie?
What would you say is the first thing we should start with? The very first, like, we know nothing. What do you say we should start with?
ChatGPT.
And do
Make
what?
sure you're getting ChatGPT and you're paying for it. It's $20 a month. I would highly recommend that. What you can do with ChatGPT for is ask it questions, right? It can console with you. Like you can ask it about, hey, my intention as a real estate professional is to do X amount of business, right? These are my 4 lead sources to generate business. Let's put a plan together for each one, right? So, and then I would actually look at Tom AI. How many of you are using Tom AI? You do realize that every time we have a coaching call, when you fill out your call log, I just basically copy and paste that question you have, and I throw it into Tom AI. And then I let it formulate how Tom would answer that. And sometimes it's good and sometimes it's crap, right? But it's there for you, right? When you fill out the forms, it's asking yourself better questions and putting it in there, right? Now, ChatGPT 4 do the same. What is it in your world, in your part of the world? Whether it be personal, physical, financial, business-wise, goal-wise. When you look at all that, right? Do you have a plan for each one? Would you like to have a mentor that you can talk to about it?
It's you.
Well, it's me once a week, but it's ChatGPT 24/7. Right? Does that make sense? So I would start with ChatGPT 4. Excellent. What else you guys got? Go ahead, Katie.
So you briefly touched on it about using, I think, ChatGPT to like analyze like your actual market through your MLS. How are you doing that? Because obviously you can't upload your whole MLS into ChatGPT. So how am I able to figure that out? Especially for me coming into a new market, trying to figure out all of that stuff.
Yeah, that's a great question. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go into ChatGPT 4, right? Start with that. And then with ChatGPT 4, it asks you for some attachments. What attachments do you want? Right? So what you can do is download data information from your MLS. You can take a look at a specific area, pocket, and go to ChatGPT and put in here. I did it here with Toronto board. Okay. So, oh, no, that's not the one I'm looking for. Montreal. No. Well, this one is not really what I'm thinking of, but what I did was put in some data from an MLS, right? Put in some data. This was the persona one. That's not the one I was looking for. So you can go in, put in your MLS information and then ask it questions and it gave you some engagement.
So where are you finding that data on a Trevor or something like that? Where is the
Yeah,
data?
I
that
went,
you're
where
grabbing?
I went to Toronto MLS, took a specific area that my office is in. I'm really trying to find it. I don't know where I put it. No. So went into my MLS board, picked an area, looked at what's sold in that area, right? Downloaded it into a PDF. Actually, it wasn't a PDF, it was an Excel file. I downloaded to an Excel file. Then I uploaded into ChatGPT and I said, analyze this data and answer me this. Boom, boom, boom. And I gave it a series of questions, right? Who is the most dominant real estate brokerage? Who's the most dominant agent in that area, right? And then I got even deeper. Who's the average price point of homes in it? And you could get even deeper. What type of buyers were buying in that area? Right? Like what's the style of the home? Because your MLS has all that information.
And you can download that into an Excel?
Yeah. I'm on your board. I did it. Yes,
I know,
you can.
that's, I've been on the board for 23 years. I have no idea.
Come
how I
on,
did
you
it,
just,
but I'll figure it
man,
out.
you just, it
I'll
says
figure it
right
out.
there, you can download it.
It does? Okay. I'll figure
When
it
it
out.
has the information, that's why, not individual, but when it shows all the information, yes, it can.
Okay.
Worst case scenario, copy and paste. But I'm pretty sure I just downloaded it. Yes, I downloaded it.
Okay.
Did that help? Yeah. What is also coming is you can actually give it access to certain pieces of information. Like you can give it access to your website and ask it to analyze your website. You can give it access to someone else's website and ask it to analyze their website. Right? Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can do with competition. Right? Any other questions, folks? Hey, I hope this was useful and not overwhelming. That was not my intention. It really wasn't. Hey, you guys are awesome. I'll talk to you all in the new year. Thanks so much.
Happy New Year.